Hey, it's Berta J. You're back in my kitchen with me today. Today we're going to do the second in 3 shows to show you how you can have a plant-based vegan Thanksgiving dinner. It's going to be really cool. We've already done one. This is the second and we have one more to do. We're going to have what I call sunshine vegetables. Because when you think of the sun, you think of yellow and I think of oranges. And so what I've done is I've taken a medium summer squash, or people used to call it crookneck squash. It's yellow squash. And I've cut that up into little semicircles. And then I've taken 2 carrots, medium-sized carrot, and cut them in, that's about 1/4 of an inch, circles. And I've used about a half of a yellow pepper. And we're going to put these all together and we're going to roast them in the oven. You have to put all your vegetables into a bowl. Then the spices we're going to use are these. 1 teaspoon of parsley flakes. I use a pinch of black pepper. Now if you are a little sensitive to spicy things, you could either leave the pepper out or go with a smaller amount of pepper. But that's just a pinch. I have 1/4 of a teaspoon of granulated onion. Again, you hear me talk about granulated onion versus onion powder. This is more concentrated and it has tiny little granules as opposed to a powder. Then I have 1/8 of a teaspoon of granulated garlic and 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt. So all those go together, and then I just mix them up by shaking the bowl around. And then once they're mixed, get the vegetables all mixed up too. And you just pour it on. And you put it in a 375 degree oven. And you're going to cook them on one side for 15 minutes. And then you flip them over and cook them for another 12 to 15 minutes again. So they get nice, a little toasty. The summer squash is going to get a little soft along with the peppers, but the carrots are going to be they're going to be still kind of crunchy in 20 minutes. So you put them on a parchment lined, I just use these heavy spoons of ours to hold the paper down until I put everything on it so it can stay in place. Lay everything out. So it's on a flat surface. You don't want them in a bunch right here in the middle or on the side. Make it so that each one of them is turned over so that the heat, when it hits it, is going to roast one side, and then we're going to turn them over and it'll roast the other side, so you can do the same thing. So I'm going to put it in the oven 15 minutes, and when I come back, I'll turn them over, and then when I come back you will see them. And we're also doing mashed potatoes, so we're going to do those right now. The water's on boiling, and we're going to start with those too, okay? What we're going to do now is the mashed potatoes. What you do is you need 4 cups of peeled and cubed potatoes. You can use whatever kind you want. I happen to like red. You could use red or golden, whatever one you like. Then you're going to put them in a bowl with some water and soak out a little bit of the starch. The cubes that you cut them into, these have already been done. The cubes are, I don't know if you can tell, it's about that big, okay? And 4 cups. And once you put them on to boil and you let them boil on a medium-high heat, and it usually will take about 6 to 10 minutes. It doesn't take very long. You don't have to, you don't think this is not a long process with these potatoes. Once they're cooked like we have right here, you take the cubed potatoes and put them in a bowl. You're going to mash them, and then you're going to put spices on, and I'll tell you what those are in a minute. This is my masher. It reminds me of a ricer. Doesn't make the potatoes as like a rice, but it does a really good job of mashing. So you're going to mash these up really well. Okay, that looks pretty good. And then to this, you're going to add a 1/2 teaspoon of granulated onion, a pinch of black pepper, half a teaspoon of salt, because you're working with 4 cups of potatoes, so you need a little salt in there. 2 teaspoons of parsley flakes, and the last one is a teaspoon of chives. Last thing you're going to do is you're going to heat up a cup of milk, plant-based milk. I use rice milk with a little bit of coconut creamer. Makes it a little creamier. You could also use the water that comes off of the boiled potatoes. That also helps it to become pretty creamy. You're just going to pour it in and see if you need the whole thing. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. You need a spoon, and you're going to just stir everything up. Now, if this is too tight for you, you want it looser, you could use more milk, or as I said, you could use the potato water that they boiled in. They're done. Let me check on the sunshine vegetables. Okay, I'm just bringing back the sunshine vegetables, and I believe they are done and tender and delicious. So what I'm going to do, make a little plate for us. Make sure you give yourself all the vegetables so you can have peppers and carrots and some summer squash. I wasn't a fan of summer squash, but I'm telling you, if you try it this way, you will find yourself being a fan of summer squash. You could also do, zucchini this way as well. Okay, so I think that's enough. The potatoes are still hot. I'll put some on. You have sunshine vegetables and mashed potatoes. Now that'll go along with the previous show, which was the cranberry sauce and the kale with onions. So I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you will try it. They're really, really delicious. Let me try the potatoes. I already tried them off camera, but I can try them again. Now this, let me try that and a pepper. They crunch a little bit. If you don't like them crunchy, just keep them in the oven for a little bit longer, okay? But please try them and let me know below how you liked it. And I hope you enjoy them when you do try it. So bye for now, and I'll see you next time.